Tip number 1 is to have a plan and to plan for bad days. Going into this, you need to know that nobody is motivated 24/7. And just know that you're not a failure if you're not motivated some days. That happens to so many of us. We just fall back on our habits and the discipline that we've built slowly over time. The first thing I would say is to build some kind of routine that starts getting me excited for the gym on those days that I really don't want to go. But if you're an early morning bird and it's really hard for you to wake up and this is your year, you really want to start by building this habit, building this routine of having early gym sessions. First thing I would say, again, set everything up. That means getting your gym clothes out. Or even if you want to set it up the night before and you work out after work, you can set all this up in your gym bag and just bring that with you to work. That is what I used to do when I worked my 9 to 5. For me, having an idea of what I'm doing in the gym that day always decreases my gym anxiety tenfold because I can feel comfortable. I know what I'm going to do. I know what to expect. I always use the programs on my own app. That link can be down in the description box. Right now I'm running a challenge and I have a brand new program called Shred. I have 6 total. So if you want to check that out, check it out in the description box. You can also set out your pre-workout the night before, and I love this so much. Just lay it on the counter. You can have a cup out or even mix it already at night. Whatever works for you, just have it out and visible. That way, all of your steps are just that much easier to take and you can get out the door quicker. And the last thing is to have breakfast ready. If you're working out in the morning, again, something I love to have. If I'm on the go, if I'm running around, I will have an orange, an apple, or a banana. Another one of my all-time favorite breakfasts that is an amazing on-the-go option is overnight oats. I am constantly making this recipe. You know what's really cool is if you track your macros. So there's an app called Lifesum, which is fantastic. And I've actually partnered with this brand before. But if you are somebody who makes the same meals quite frequently, like myself, you can just add this into the app, the premium version, and save it so that every morning if you track, you can just say having overnight oats and you know exactly what's there. It's already calculated. You can add your own meals. Lifesum also does have an entire recipe bank in the app, which is fantastic. So if you ever need inspiration for what to eat, you can check out Lifesum. That link is also in the description box and they are the sponsor of this video. For me, and I know for a ton of others, through this fitness journey, through my life, I have learned that the best way to build confidence is to keep the promises that you made to yourself. You said you were going to wake up at your alarm clock. You're not going to snooze. You're not going to go back to sleep. You're not going to say, I will do it later. You're going to wake up when you say you did, and you're going to do what you say you did. That is the ultimate key in building confidence through and through.
Okay guys, tip number 2 is nutrition, and I feel like this is definitely the hardest one, right? I feel like workouts, you can follow a program, you can, go to Orange Theory, you can go to some kind of group fitness class and you're getting your exercise in, you're getting your movement in, and you're feeling good about that. But nutrition is a little bit tricky, and it's tricky because it's so different for everybody. There's a lot of advice out there, and it's like, hey, who do I listen to? What's right? What's wrong? And the best thing I can tell you to do is to figure it out for yourself. When I first started my fitness journey, I tracked just to become educational about what I was eating. And I use an app like Lifesum, and in this app, it's really cool because you can, 1, figure out what kind of macros you're eating, 2, figure out the kind of nutrients that you're getting. And what's also nice about Lifesum is you're also getting recipes in the app. But the reason why I personally tracked at the very beginning of my fitness journey, again, was to figure out what I was eating in the first place. And then to see, hey, how can I do a little bit better? It's not something I do forever. It was just a small portion of the time for educational purposes for me, because there's so much information out there. People saying, eat this, don't eat that, that's bad for you. All of that. Now, the problem about figuring it out for you, that it's very broad and there's not as much actionable items to take from that. So some steps that you could take that are, 1, science-backed, because I feel like that is the best way to do it. Everything should be science-backed and not just kind of trend focused. I feel like that's where there's a lot of damage that can happen when you're following trend advice versus things that are a little bit more maybe scientifically sound or working for you. You're listening to your body and you're figuring out that relationship with food for you. Tracking really helped me at the beginning of my journey. That is something that I did, and that's something that I don't do anymore. I, first of all, was tracking macros, which is different than calories. So calories is just the caloric intake you're eating of the day. Macros are gonna be your protein, your fat, and your carbs. And I actually have a ton of videos talking about that and even podcast episodes. If you're more interested in macros, And you can't forget about your micros, right? Your micronutrients, those are more your vitamins, your minerals, all necessary for our body to have full function of daily life. We're running, we're walking, we're able to breathe, sit down, work, have cognitive function, all of that. We need all of it. The educational part was huge for me. This is where I went in, and I was so meticulous, and this is while I was getting my certification for personal training. I was doing sports nutrition classes, so I was educating myself properly, but also doing some blanket science research. I really just wanted to know the why behind it. People always said, eat your fruits, eat your vegetables, but why? I wanted to know that for myself and to become educated, just to benefit myself. And also, I was starting my social media platforms. I felt very strongly that if I'm going to speak about anything, I also need to have that education and the information behind, so I'm not spreading anything false for anybody out there. For example, you're Googling, hey, why is broccoli good for me? Well, you learn it has fiber, it has vitamin C, it has vitamin K, it has potassium. And then I took it even a step further, and I'm like, okay, well, why do I even need vitamin C? What does that do for my body? What do I need fiber? What does that do for my body? Once you learn the functions that the food that we eat does for our body, for our daily function, our daily living, as simple as making going to the bathroom easier. Fiber. You want to find foods that are decent in fiber, right? Apples are great for that. Vegetables are great for that, like broccoli. I mean, it's really cool when you think about the science and how certain foods are used and broken down by our bodies for very specific reasons and purposes. I'm very into that, and I kind of nerd out when it comes to this topic because I'm just grateful that there's food that can work for our bodies. Anyways, let's move on. The very last tip that I will give you in today's video is to track your progress. I cannot say this one enough. So that goes for weight that you're using. This could be time. This could be, hey, I want to get faster on my mile. I want to get faster at sprints. Okay, well, what time are you doing? What speed are you doing? Track those individual things. That way you can know where you started and how you can continuously progress. You can do that by week, you could do it by day, you can figure out how you want to do that.
Two main reasons why you might want to track your progress, and again, this might not be for everybody, but what helped me is to be able to, one, see where I started and where I'm coming. A lot of times we can compare ourselves to other people when we forget where we started. We forget that beginner phase. Progress can be measured in so many different ways. And the second one is it helps us avoid plateaus. A lot of people in their training, they say, oh, I just haven't seen any more results. In order to help push yourself through those plateaus, you have to challenge yourself in your body.
You want to squat more, you want to deadlift more, you want to run faster, further, you have to track your progress. That way you can continuously follow up with yourself and push yourself to do more and to be better. You want results? Work for them. Another thing that you could be doing is tracking your form. That is so important. I can tell through video that my form has increased so much better. Sometimes I'll even record myself doing a set and be like, oh, I can tell that that's off or that's off. And I can improve that and make everything more efficient in the gym with my lifts and also help stay away from serious injuries. Every month, kind of check in with yourself throughout the year and say, hey, how's my pull-up doing? Maybe even make a little progression video for yourself to have and be like, wow, now I can finally at the end of the year do one unassisted pull-up. For example, my squat form has improved significantly. It is crazy to see the before and the after and just me slowly tweaking things. Track that progress and results so that you can say, hey, I have seen some progress. And it doesn't have to be physical. It could be mental, it could be form, it can be so many other things of, hey, you know what, I'm looking positive. A huge win I've had recently this last year of results and progress that I've had that is not related to physical is instead of getting upset about missing a workout, I say, I've been able to hit 4 workouts this week and I missed 1, but I hit 4 workouts this week. That's a win. And I had that mindset shift and I was like, hey, this is cool. Not upset about missing a workout anymore. I'm counting those positives that I've had because life has really kicked up a notch. You know, I'm a mom. My husband is in grad school. I'm supporting him. I'm supporting our child. I'm loving my work. I've got a lot of plates that I'm constantly fidgeting with, so the ball drops a lot. And instead of beating myself up over one loss, I'm counting my wins and I'm trying to fix that mindset. And that's something that's helped me. That is a non-scale victory or a non-physical victory, right? It's not always about weight loss. And I just want to end on the fact that you've got to be patient throughout this. Again, you're building a lifestyle for yourself. You've been living your life maybe a different way and you want to see these changes, you want to make these results. It is gradual. It is gradual. You have been living your life a completely different way and you are now trying to see changes. You've got to know that you're in this for the long haul. You're creating a new lifestyle. I'm so proud of you for wanting to be on this journey. I'm so happy I could do this with you. This is going to be a fantastic year. There's going to be lots of ups and downs, but we're going to stay consistent. We're going to keep showing up for ourselves, because that is the number one key for anything, is consistency. And this is the year that we're keeping our promises to ourselves. If you want, go ahead and download the Lifesome app so you can have a little bit more help along your fitness journey. That link is going to be down in the description box. You can upgrade to the premium version if you want more features, recipes, some meal plans. Again, I'm here every step of the way. I love you guys so much. Happy New Year, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!